our recording. So we are now recording, and we are going to talk all about Instagram tonight. I'm really, really excited about this because I personally have been focusing on my Instagram. I have taken some tips from someone in LuLaRoe that I think is just absolutely amazing at Instagram. I think they do a fantastic job at it. And that is Amy Cara. It's Amycara. And if you go on Instagram and you just search for LuLaRoe Amy Cara, you will be able to see her Instagram and you'll be able to see how dynamic it is. She is absolutely fantastic at Instagram. And I watched several YouTube videos on her and on her Instagram to kind of prepare us for this training tonight. So I'm going to elaborate on the things that I think have really worked for me in my business, but I also want to share some things that have worked for her and her business. So first things first is with Instagram, we all start with one follower, with one post, with one like, and that like very well could be your upline sponsor. It could be your mom. It could be your sister, but we all have to start somewhere. So if I can tell you anything about Instagram, it's just dive in, just get started. You have to start somewhere, and we all started at the very, very beginning. We all started at the baseline. So I want to talk about the 6 reasons why you should Instagram. And these are basically like kind of the baseline. So when you're going to create posts, when you're thinking of posts, these are kind of the 6 things you should keep in mind. You always want to post with intention. So you don't want to just post kind of random ramblings. You want it to be meaningful. You want it to say something about the brand. And you want to put thought into your post. I know for me, a lot of times I get kind of stuck on what am I going to write, thinking about my Instagram post. And you really do want to put some thought into it. It shouldn't be something that you just spit out in 5 seconds. It should take you at least a few minutes to think about what you're going to post and kind of put that together. So jumping right in, hopefully you have some pen and paper. I will kind of put the Reader's Digest version of these notes on our team page. And obviously this recording will be available for you to go back to. But number 1 is build and promote the LuLaRoe brand. So when you're posting on Instagram, you want to make sure that your posts are promoting the brand. And I know that a lot of times we, put posts on there that really have nothing to do with LuLaRoe, and that's okay. But majority of your posts should be about building and promoting the LuLaRoe brand. Make sure that you're considerate of lighting, of the placement. Know your styles, know the fits of the clothes. You don't ever want to post a picture and say, look at my cute Madison, when really that was a Cassie skirt. So make sure you know the styles. I think that that's pretty, self-explanatory, but just make sure that you know what you're posting. As far as kind of building and promoting the brand, look at brands that you admire. So go to Nordstrom's Instagram account, go to Gap, go to Old Navy, find some brands that you admire, Target. There's a lot of great brands out there that do Instagram really, really well. So go check out those brands. Take a look at what they're doing. And keep in mind that your Instagram is kind of like your modern day window shopping. It's your catalog. LuLaRoe doesn't have catalogs, but this is where people can kind of go and do catalog shopping on Instagram. So just make sure that you're always promoting the brand. You also want to brand yourself. So this is kind of a second part to number 1, but not only build and promote the LuLaRoe brand, but build and promote yourself. So have unique characteristics that set you apart. So for those of you that have been on our team for a while, this is something that I've almost kind of gotten away from at this point. But the Converse, that was kind of a thing for me where I wore Converse with all my LuLaRoe outfits. That was something unique, and that was something that kind of set me apart. And it was to the point where other people, you know, on our upline team would be like, oh, you're the girl that always wears Converse with her LuLaRoe. And every time I would go to a training, they would almost expect me to have Converse on. So it kind of became a thing. So just kind of figure out what your thing is. It could be your kids or your pets, or you know, a certain style that you bring, certain colors that you wear, or something like that. So just make sure you're not only branding the company, but you're branding yourself. Number 2 is styling tips. So things like layering, how to tie a perfect tee, pattern mixing. Those are all things that you can give to where there's value to what you're posting. So you're bringing value through the styling tips. We always say style it to sell it. So for those of you that follow our upline, Janine, she had on a Randy today that most of us would probably say, yeah, that's not very cute. It was a plain striped, I think it was like blue and brown. She got 6 of them in her inventory. Well, guess what? She put one of those on and she rocked it. And I'm sure she's probably going to end up selling all of them. So style the clothes that you need to sell. And I know for us, it's easy as consultants to want to keep the unicorns, to want to keep the best stuff. But grab some of the things that you have a lot of duplicates of. And rock them, put some jewelry, put some accessories, some cute shoes, and style those outfits to sell them. Another thing is the flat lays or lay flat, or model them yourself. So if you got that striped Irma that you have several of, style it out, put it with a denim jacket, put it with some accessories, lay it down on a nice, clean, flat surface, and take a picture of it styled. And I promise that you're going to gain some additional interest in those items. So number 3 is directing your followers. You want to direct them to where the sale is, direct them to where the party is. So if you're doing Periscope, you want to direct your people to Periscope. If you're doing Facebook, direct them to Facebook. If you're doing in-home party, direct them there. A lot of people are able to build a nice local following, and we're going to talk about that, how to kind of build a local following through your hashtags. But you will have a lot of local people following you, so don't be afraid to talk about where your next pop-up party is or where your next vendor event is, because you want to make sure that you're directing people to that. So when you make a post, you want to direct them somewhere. And you don't have to be good at sales, but you want to be a great promoter. So you want to promote whatever it is you're trying to sell, or whatever it is, whatever event it is you're trying to make happen. So just make sure that you're thinking about promoting and directing them somewhere when you're making an Instagram post. Number 4 is be inspirational. So you'll see a lot of people use the hashtag because of LuLaRoe. So just hashtag because of LuLaRoe, and that's a great hashtag to go search for, to kind of find some of those lollipop moments or those inspirational moments. I know for me, you know, because of LuLaRoe, and I've shared this before, one of the things when I was working full-time was Sarah on our team, and I think she's on the call now. She posted a picture of her and her daughters at the park in the middle of the day, and I'm sitting at work, and I don't know if she used the hashtag because of LuLaRoe, but that was a because of LuLaRoe moment for me. I'm at work all day, I'm busting my butt, and she's at the park playing with her kids because LuLaRoe has allowed her that opportunity. So one of the first things I did when I left my job was took my kid to the park and took a picture like that, because that was really important to me, to be able to have that time. That was part of the reason I left my job, is to be able to spend a little bit more time with my daughter, and to, you know, make my own schedule and be able to operate that way. So when you have moments like that, share them. You know, there's a lot of things that happen in your life. It could be big or small, but maybe you were able to make your mortgage payment because of LuLaRoe, or spend more time with your family, or go on a vacation. But because of LuLaRoe is a great hashtag to kind of focus on those inspirational moments. Number 5 is building your customer base. And I think that's kind of a given. We all want to build our customer base. So when you're posting on Instagram, you want to do something that's going to help you to build that customer base. So whether that's, you know, showing a neat way to style the outfit, or you know, whatever that may be, and that kind of falls back on our inspirational tips and different things like that. But really building that customer base and making them want to see more of you. And number 6 is promote the culture. The culture of LuLaRoe, the mission of LuLaRoe. So a lot of people, you know, the strengthening lives, strengthening lives, building families, strengthening families or building lives. I always get them mixed up. But, you know, the mission statement of LuLaRoe, and let that be a part of what you post. Use parts of that in your captions. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. So, you know, put pieces of the mission statement into what you're doing. So those are kind of the 6 reasons why you want to post on Instagram, and kind of the things you want to keep in mind when you come up with Instagram posts. The other thing that I want to talk about, which I've got several things, but kind of going on to the next point, is how often you're posting on Instagram. Now, this is the one thing where I say I can't necessarily speak from experience. I need to get better about posting more often on Instagram. But at minimum, you should be posting once per day on Instagram. Ideally, you're posting 2 to 3 times per day on Instagram. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, holy moly, that sounds kind of crazy. But guess what? When people get on Instagram, they're getting on at all different times of the day. And those of you that have Instagram accounts already, or that are building your Instagram accounts, when you start to scroll through, you're not going to scroll through for 15 hours. You're only going to scroll through for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and whatever is in your feed is what you're going to see. So you want to post 3 times per day. We say a lot of times right at 8 a.m., right around lunchtime at noon, and then anytime after 4 p.m., which I personally think after like 6 or 7 p.m., but anytime after 4 p.m. is also a good time to post. This is going to create consistency. So people are going to come to like look for your posting, because they're going to know, like, they always see your post 3 times per day. They're going to come to kind of expect it. It's also going to show momentum. So a lot of times people will kind of observe your success for a certain amount of time, and it's going to take them a long time, a lot of seeing what you're doing to kind of build that momentum. So just make sure that you're posting consistently. And it's also going to help with retention. People are going to stick around because they want to see what you're up to. They want to, you know, be a part of whatever you're doing, and they want more from you. So you might say, well, 3 times a day sounds kind of crazy, but you'll be surprised how much people really want that, and they want to be a part of that. So that's something I personally am working on as well. Another thing I want to talk about is the rule of 7. And this is kind of a marketing thing, so I was really excited to hear Amy Cara talk about this. But the rule of 7 is basically that they need to see us and our marketing efforts at least 7 times before they're even going to consider buying from us. So, you know, back in my kind of corporate marketing days, you know, that was a billboard, a radio ad, a TV commercial, you know, a magazine, or you know, an ad in the newspaper. There were so many different avenues where we could get what we called touches. And that's going to be the same thing when using any of your social media, but especially Instagram. Now, obviously, none of us are going to go out and buy TV commercials or, you know, buy billboards. And quite frankly, probably the company is not going to do that either, because they don't have to. We're growing without any of that. But consider these touches, your Instagram, your Facebook, the different things that you're doing. Maybe you're looking into, you know, some kind of email campaign. There's a lot of different things that we can do. And obviously today we're focusing on Instagram, but just understand that that rule of 7, those touches are going to be so, so important, because somebody's not going to see what you do one time and want to come buy from you. They're going to watch you. They're going to observe you. I don't know if Nina is on the call, but a perfect example is Nina has been my friend for quite some time. She was around when I very first started posting about LuLaRoe, and I'm pretty sure she rolled her eyes and said, you know, that's crazy. Why would she do this? The clothing's crazy. That's all nuts. And now she's a consultant on our team. And she just left me a message earlier that she had one of the most crazy patterns she had ever worn, and she wanted me to give her my opinion on the crazy pattern. And of course, I would probably love it, but I wasn't able to see it. So I'm sure it looks fantastic. But that's just a perfect example of somebody that's going to watch you. They're going to watch from kind of behind the scenes, but they're still going to be watching. And the more they see you, the more you have consistency in your brand, the more likely they're going to be to want to follow you. So just keep that in mind. For me, the consistency is a struggle. I can be pretty consistent in my Facebook page. I can be pretty consistent with these trainings and my team, but that kind of consistency in posting and making sure you're in front of your customers is huge. So one of the things that I do is I set a reminder for myself. So if you have to set a reminder or set an alarm on your cell phone at 8 a.m., at noon, and at 4 p.m. to remind you to post, do it. If you need to have an accountability partner, I love having people that you can lean on, that you can be accountable to. So you guys can text each other every day. Hey, did you make your Instagram post yet? Or, communicate with each other on your Instagram posts to help make that a lot more effective. So that was just kind of a quick tip I wanted to throw in, is setting yourself reminders and making that available. Excuse me. The next thing I want to talk about is how to get followers. And I apologize that I'm going through this at like a record pace. Like I said, I'm going to be posting the notes up for you guys, but I want to make sure that we don't run out of time. I'm going to do some screen sharing on my cell phone to show you a couple of the things that I've talked about, but I did want to run through all these notes without running out of time. So we're going to talk about getting followers. Whoa. There was just big thunder at my house. It scared me. So in order to get followers, you want to post quality content. So no bathroom selfies, no pictures with your toilet in the background, no dirty laundry. You don't want to be standing in a pile of mud or dirt, or, your clothes are messed up or things like that. You want to post quality stuff. People want to see the product. So, don't have yourself way out in a field. Do close-ups of the product. Really display the product, and get creative with how you display it. I know one of the pictures I kind of have in my reserve to post on Instagram is at the playground. And we totally were not at the playground to play. I got dressed, and my husband and my daughter and I went to the playground for the sole intent of him taking pictures of me like I was playing at the playground with my kid. Now, Leah and I go to the playground all the time, but I don't necessarily look as presentable or presentable enough to get a picture, so we had to kind of fake it. But it's a great opportunity, to find somebody and help you take quality photos. So make sure you're displaying the product. Make sure you're representing the brand professionally. So you don't want to take pictures in a bar or with you and your friends, cheers in with a beer or something. Make sure that it's tasteful. Make sure that you're just being professional. You don't want to look like a hot mess. You don't want huge messes in the background. You don't want to show all your clothes all over the floor. So just be cognizant of those kind of things when you're posting. No clutter. Make sure you have good lighting, and look like you know what you're doing. So even if you're faking it, look like you know what you're doing. If I know for me, a lot of times I'll go on Pinterest and I'll look up like model poses. And look at how other people are posing. I know my mom and I were trying to get a really good picture together, so I went online and on Pinterest and put in adult mother-daughter portraits, and I was able to see how other adult mother and daughters pose together, and then we were able to have my mom and I pose that way as well. So if you're kind of like, I don't know how to stand, I don't know what to do, go on Pinterest and look up that kind of stuff, and then use those as examples when you're getting ready with yours. to take your pictures. And don't diminish the brands. That kind of goes back to, you know, the bathroom selfies, the alcohol in the pictures, or anything like that. Just anything that you can think of that would potentially diminish the brand. I saw somebody post a picture recently where it was like a cardboard sign, and they put LuLaRoe pop-up, like just handwritten on the sign this way, and it had an arrow. And it just looked like you were directing them to a garage sale, not a nice pop-up party. Remember to treat yourself like Nordstrom's, not like Goodwill. You want to be that high-level brand, and you want to portray that in your pictures. The second way, that was all posting quality content. The second way to get followers is to comment on other people's photos. Now, this is where you have to be a little careful. You do not want to go to a bunch of LuLaRoe people and comment, oh my gosh, I love that outfit. They're going to say, okay, well, we know Meredith is just trying to gain all my followers. But, you know, go to other people, go to, you know, mommy bloggers, go to, you know, Nordstrom's or Target or different brands like that, and find some cute accessories. And, oh my gosh, I love that purse, or your hair looks amazing. People that follow you, you comment on their stuff. Well, guess what? When you comment on their stuff and it says LuLaRoe Meredith Tucker or LuLaRoe with the ladies or whatever you are, people are going to go, huh, I wonder what LuLaRoe with Meredith Tucker is. And they're going to click on that, and they're going to want to be a part of that. So commenting on other people's stuff. Now, if I can tell you anything, there's nothing I hate more than somebody commenting on my photos something completely irrelevant to my photos. So for example, they put like a car emoji or something, or they put hey or nice. Make it sincere, make it genuine, don't make it fake. Another thing about Instagram that I think is extremely helpful, and I've done a little bit of this, but it's, you know, finding some teenagers to help you, because they can go through and make comments on your behalf. Or maybe you're, you know, if you're at a point where you have even a part-time assistant, or make your spouse or your best friend help you with these kind of things like commenting and liking other people's stuff, because it's definitely going to help you kind of double your manpower, double your work. And number 3 is find people that you have something in common with. So for example, if you're a mom, find other mommy bloggers. If you're a dog lover, find other people who love dogs. There's a lot of people that you can find that have things in common with you that you can relate to better, and you're going to be able to, you know, get more from that. So does anybody have any questions yet? I know I'm talking like a crazy woman. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer questions. But otherwise, I will just keep going. The next kind of topic that I want to talk about regarding Instagram is hashtags, and how important hashtags are. Now, you can use up to 25 hashtags on Instagram per comment. Hashtags is basically a search engine for being able to find content on Instagram and on Facebook. I recommend that you put 1 to 3 hashtags in the actual caption. So let's say, for instance, I'm posting a picture and I'm wearing a Cassie skirt and a classic tee. Well, I might hashtag, I love my new hashtag Cassie skirt, hashtag classic tee. Isn't it amazing? So when you do that, you're going to put that in the caption, and then you're going to post it to Instagram. And then something that we call clean hashtagging is basically where you're putting the remainder of your hashtags in the comments. The reason why you do that is because it doesn't clutter up. If you're putting 25 hashtags in the caption of your photo, it's cluttering that photo, and it's taking away from whatever you actually wrote in the caption or the actual picture. So if you put the hashtags in the first comment, it still directs them to that photo, but it just makes it cleaner. We recommend that you always hashtag LuLaRoe unless you are posting inventory pictures. Now, I personally am not a big fan of posting inventory items on Facebook unless you're wearing them or you're styling them, but not like, hey, check out this cute Cassie skirt, and you just show the Cassie skirt on the mannequin, come to my shopping group and buy it. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think take your Instagram and direct them to your Facebook shopping group where they can see everything. But if that's your style, you're more than welcome to do that. And I know people have a lot of success with that. But if you are doing that, don't hashtag LuLaRoe. And the only reason they ask that we not do that is because when somebody searches hashtag LuLaRoe, we want them to see all the stylized photos, not just a picture of a Cassie skirt on a mannequin. We want them to really see our brand and kind of see, the meaning by the brand. We have a question. Is it true you can't put links in your caption? Sarah, that's a great question. I am not sure, but that's something maybe that we can try. Ashley is saying that is true, that you can't put links in the caption. So thank you, Ashley, for answering that question. But that is apparently a truth. It's not something I've tried to do recently. So, but thank you, Ashley, for, oh, okay. Okay. I'm with you now. Only in your profile. Yes. Yes. So in your, profile, and I can actually show you, let me see. Hold on just a second. Let's go ahead and do some screen sharing here. Bear with me just a second. Okay, can everybody see my Instagram screen? Let's see. Can you see my Instagram, Tavia? I see you. Yes. Okay, she's giving me the thumbs up. Okay, I was trying to find somebody I could see. Okay, so basically this is my kind of home screen, and you can see that there is my link to my Facebook group there. But yes, you wouldn't put the link in the like where I put serious amounts of amazingness just hanging around. You wouldn't put the link. You would then say link in bio, and then they could go back to your bio and see the link there. So just since we're here, I'll point out a couple of things. Number one, where you have 1,202 followers, you always want that number to be higher than your following. Because if your following, if that second number is higher, then that kind of makes you look like a stalker. And that's something I've been working on for quite some time. And I finally got to the point, which as you can see, I'm barely below, and I'm still working on that. But I am barely below on my following and working to get, to continue to increase my followers without my following going over that. As you can see here, I kind of do a little bit of everything. I do like to use my daughter because people love to see that. So you can see that kind of starting, I guess we'll start kind of on the bottom row. I've got a couple of pictures of my husband, both wearing the Mark and the Patrick tee, so kind of featuring those. A picture of my mom and I, both in LuLaRoe in the middle. We've got a couple of girls on our team from the training, and then of course using Leah a little bit, her being in the box, her being with the clothes, so just kind of showing those kind of things. And then I've got some shots. There's, one of us taking a family walk with the dogs. A few more pictures of my daughter. The top picture, she is wearing the May dress. So that was a great way to kind of feature that. But I also kind of want to show you, let's find one where I put some. Okay, so this is what you can, this is what I can show you in regards to the clean hashtagging. So if you look at this picture, you can basically see that it's the picture. I've got 29 likes, a couple of comments. Well, guess what? Those comments are really mine. This is my caption, serious amounts of amazingness just hanging around. Join us tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, link in bio. And this is actually part of the LuLaRoe September challenge. So I know some of you are taking that challenge. I posted the picture in our VIP group, and I can comment on it so that you can be a part of that and participate in that. On this particular day, the theme of that day was hanging around. And so these are all my clothes just hanging around. So I use LuLaRoe September Challenge and the hashtag hanging out. So that's just 2 hashtags in the caption. But then if you look at the comments, I use some additional hashtags here. So I use hashtag LuLaRoe, LuLaRoe Love, LuLaRoe Life, Outfit of the Day, fashion blogger. And then I went and did a few more. Riverview, which is the city that I live in. Mom Boss, because that's something, relevant to me. LuLaRoe giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway on my page. Florida summer. So just some different hashtags. One of the things that in my research that I found was actually a website that helps you know what the most relevant hashtags are and what the most trackable hashtags are for what you're trying to do. And that website is Tags for Likes. So let's see. Let's see. I'm just going to type it out for you. So Tags for Likes. So obviously I'm not going to post that, but you can see Tags for Likes. That's actually a website where you can go and find top hashtags that are trending that will help you as far as what hashtags. So if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what hashtags to put on my photos or to use, that gives you an opportunity to find some awesome hashtags. But make sure that you're using hashtags that are relevant to you. The things like mom boss or entrepreneur, things like that. Those are fantastic ones. And those ones are relevant to me. I'm sure you could come up with some that are relevant to you as well. But just know that the hashtags are definitely going to be very important. I know we're starting to run out of time, but I wanted to show you real quick Amy Cara. Let's see. So here is LuLaRoe Amy Cara, and you can see that she has 15,000 followers, and she's only following 794 people. Well, if you look at who her actual following are, it's probably a lot of people on her team. So like these are all LuLaRoe people that she's following, and for the most part, she doesn't follow that many other people. But you can see that all of her pictures are pretty much her in the clothes. So this is literally like a catalog. When I look at her Instagram, it looks like a catalog to me where I could go through and basically shop her Instagram. She does do pictures with her kid here, and this is kind of a because of LuLaRoe moment. I love LuLaRoe because I hang out with my kids feeling comfortable. Another thing that I wanted to point out that I think she does really well is kind of the law of thirds. So you can see in the top left-hand corner, she's all the way over to the left, but then there's some pictures where she's in the center, and then there's some pictures where she's all the way over to the right. So you don't always have to be right in the center. Most of them are just pretty much her posing in the outfits. This is the flat lays that I was talking about. And in one of the trainings, I think it was actually this one that she talked about, and I think this is a Carly dress. Yes, this is a Carly dress that she got a ton of. Well, she styled it like this. I think she said she had 6 or 8 of them, and she sold them all that same day she posted this image. So that's just styling it, and people look at that and go, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's such a cute outfit. I want to wear that. And they buy it. So just kind of keep that in mind. Here's another flat lay. So don't be afraid of the flat lays, but just make sure they look really nice. Make sure the underneath of the flat lay, again, here's a picture of her with her kids, on stairs. So it's just some different variation that she's doing. And then I really love this. This is like one of the things she was talking about. You don't always have to show your face. So she's kind of zoomed in on the outfit, but then here she's zoomed out a little bit. So those were pictures that were posted kind of back to back, and she does do that occasionally, where she will post the same outfit in a couple of different pictures. So you can just see some really, here's kind of the different outfits. So there's one there, and then she threw on a Joy and styled the outfit there. And she just looks fantastic. And you really just kind of come to know her, and you can really tell that her brand comes out in this. So that's what you want to do, is really make sure that your brand comes alive in your Instagram. I also wanted to show you guys the Instagram Cleaner app, which is this one right here. So this is the Instagram Cleaner app, and I guess I should have showed you kind of what it looks like. And I have been extremely active on my Instagram Cleaner app, but there's what it looks like right next to the square register. But this is Instagram Cleaner. So if you have an iPhone, this is a fantastic app to help you get your following below your followers. So basically all you have to do is kind of go through here. Now let's say, for instance, like this is my cousin. So let's say I want to add her to a whitelist. So that basically means that I don't ever want to delete following her. Lindsay Wheeler, I want to add her to a whitelist because she's an awesome person that I want to continue to follow. The rest of these people, so basically what this is a local boutique, so I'll go ahead and whitelist them. The rest of these people are just people that I followed at some point that they don't follow me back. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to very quickly get rid of them. If this will ever stop processing. There we go. So you're just going to hit quick select. You're going to say select all, and it should, let's see. So you hit quick select, select all, and then you want to go to actions and you want to unfollow. So you're going to go ahead and unfollow those people. And this very quickly gets rid of those people so that you're no longer following them. And then you can see it kind of whitelisted these three that I chose, so that I will not unfollow those people because I want to continue to follow them. There's a few different other things that you can do here, but that's really the most important thing. I think that there was a small fee for this app, so you want to take that into consideration. But the Cleaner app is a fantastic app to help you with Instagram. Another thing I wanted to show you is how I kind of go through and quickly get followers. So let's say, for instance, I like to find, let's see. So like I would go to Nordstrom's and I would find something, with a dress or a cute outfit. And you can see that Nordstrom's is showing a lot of kind of like their more wild stuff. But let's just say you can see here 11,000 people liked this photo. So if you just click on the heart, and then you can go through and just very quickly tap to follow all of these people. So what I do is, while I'm going to the bathroom, while I'm waiting at the doctor's office, maybe while you're waiting in the car line, or you're on your lunch break, whatever it is that you're doing, you just want to go through and just follow all those people. Another good thing as far as getting local followers is find your local boutiques. So the Green Boutique is a boutique that's local to me. You can see they're not overly active on Facebook, but who cares? Still a great opportunity to find some local people. So basically all I do is where it says 216 followers, I just click on that, and then you can go right down the list, excuse me, and follow all of these people. So you just really quickly, Instagram allows you to follow 100 people an hour. So you just go right down the list and start following these people. What's going to happen is a lot of these people will start following you back. And a lot of times what will happen is before I'm even done, people will start following me back. Because what's going to happen is I'm going through and I'm following all of these people. And then you can see like, Radiant and Maid, Pay Dilly, the Groovy Coop, they all started following me. So what's going to happen is all those people that I just started following, they're going to get a message just like this. So then they're going to go, oh, okay, well, I want to follow these people too. And so they're going to click follow. Now for me, I don't go through and follow all of these people back because guess what? I don't want my following to go up. So you can see that I clicked on Tavia and Ashley. I want to follow them. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see what they're up to. But the rest of these people, you don't necessarily want to follow them back, but you want them to follow you. So that's kind of something that to keep in mind. You don't have to go through and click these pluses, but these people will start coming through and they will start following you. So you can see Sabri Bree 30 started following me. She might have been from one of the likes that I just did. So those are kind of some ways that I think Instagram can be really helpful, but also a way to make it easier. Another thing that I wanted to mention real quick is as far as your Instagram photos, schedule some time to take a lot of them at one time. So take 5 or 6 outfits at one time. You know, get your best friend, get your spouse, get one of your children to help you take the pictures, you know, and do have kind of a backlog of them all at one time, so that you're just kind of ready to go with all of your postings. So that's something that I think could be really helpful is, you know, going through and getting a lot of those pictures at one time and just having them ready to go. Let's see, did I miss a chat? Yes, Sarah said the Instagram Cleaner app is $3 and it's well worth it, which I totally agree. So if you have an iPhone, the Instagram Cleaner is a fantastic app. I'm sure they have something comparable for Android, but because it's Android, it's probably just automatically not quite as good as the iPhone one. No offense to my Android friends. I can say that because I was there, and I had to quickly switch back to the iPhone because I just couldn't handle it. So one other thing I wanted to point out, and this was something that I struggled with in the very beginning, was you don't have to keep everything you modeled. And I had this real like weird thing, like I didn't want to model something and then try to sell it, like, oh, that's kind of weird. But if you think about it, I mean, you're not necessarily putting on leggings. You know, for the most part, I model my own leggings that I own. You know, but put on an outfit, you know, hold your arm a certain way where the tag doesn't show, or maybe try to tuck the tag. Model that outfit. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to keep it. Now, don't get sweaty. Don't get dirty. Don't wear it for, you know, your 4-hour-long live show. If you're going to model the outfit and take it off. A lot of people will want to wear the exact same outfit that Michelle has because they just think Michelle is so cool and so beautiful and they want the same outfit she has. So if you model that outfit, model the things you have a lot of so that you can turn around and sell them. And then you can say things like, hey, you want to be my twin? I've got this outfit in 2 other sizes. Make it yours for blah, blah, blah. So those are all great things to kind of keep in mind. So all of that being said, do we have any questions about Instagram? You can either chat them, or if you need to be unmuted, just let me know, or I can unmute everybody, but just be careful of your background noise. Okay, so everybody is unmuted. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Does Instagram connect to Pinterest?
I believe so. Let me check.
I think it does.
Yes.
Because sometimes you'll find some, you'll type in like LuLaRoe outfits, and 100 outfits will pop up, and some of them I've seen like people that I recognize on Pinterest. So is that because they're like, how do you get on Pinterest, and then how is it hooked to the Instagram? I guess I don't know how that.
Yeah, I'm looking right now, and I don't necessarily see a link to Pinterest, but maybe if somebody else is familiar with that. But I do know that a lot of times, and this is, again, something I really want to do. I know that Janine, our upline sponsor, does a lot of this, and she will post a picture on Instagram, and then she will immediately go to Pinterest and post it there as well. And basically have a LuLaRoe Pinterest account, or it could be your personal account, but you're kind of doing the exact same thing. You're posting that picture. You're basically saving that pin to your page, and then it's allowing other people to find it because it's now on your Pinterest.
Okay, so
I know somebody said yes, it does connect. So maybe we could get some additional information on that. I'm looking right now. I see Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and a couple other ones, but I don't see Pinterest. So it might be something where you just jump over, and I could probably ask Janine too, and maybe get back to you on that.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because that's who I did see. I saw her a couple times, and I didn't know that anybody could just like post on Pinterest. I thought it was attached to one of her other pages that maybe was, liked a lot or something.
Yeah, a lot of people see her on Pinterest all the time, and that's because she posts a lot of her pictures there. So yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Is I can do a little more research on that, and then maybe in the next couple of weeks we could spend a little bit of time kind of talking about how that works. So great question.
Okay.
Does anybody else have questions? Try. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions, then hopefully this was very informative. I know by my research and the information that I was able to gather, like I said, most of it was from Amy Cara, who is an upline. Well, she's not technically our upline, she's high up in LuLaRoe, and she could provide a lot of this information on her Instagram, or I'm sorry, her YouTube channel, or YouTube videos, and basically it was a great opportunity for us to learn more information, to share the things that she was able to share and the ways that she was able to capitalize on Instagram as a selling opportunity. So I encourage all of you to get out there on Instagram. If you have an Instagram, please, please, please come follow me so I can follow you back. Because one of the best things that we can do is interact with each other. Now, like I said, be careful interacting with other LuLaRoe consultants that aren't on our team. Some people do get a little snippy about that, and they think that you're interacting just for your own exposure. But on our team, I certainly don't mind interacting with you. I know a lot of you have been taking advantage of the photo challenge, and that's a great opportunity to start to build exposure of yourself and the brand, and for us to interact with each other as teammates. So definitely go follow me. I am LuLaRoe Ladies 813. So go follow me so I can follow you back. Because I want to be able to interact with your post as well. So if you don't have any questions, then that's all I got. I hope you guys have a great night. Let me know if there's any way I can help you. I'm always available by private message. Reach out to your sponsor, but if they're unable to help you, please certainly come to me. I'd be happy to assist in any way I can. I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Bye.